Fastest transformer alive, you say, huh? With the way those wheels are hanging, I'd bet more money on the fastest chicken in the South. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're taking a look at another transformer from the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection. And this one will be a familiar face to many longtime fans. This is Blurr. Now, of course, this Blurr is somewhat different from all of the redos from the toy line so far, in the fact that it's not a repaint of a Legacy or War for Cybertron figure. He's a redeco of the Studio 86 Blurr. So it's kind of, we're probably going based on an older concept of how Blurr might have appeared in the 1986 animated film. They even gave him the same accessories to go along with it. However, as you can see, there is a slight difference to them, whereas the studio versions are in a white color. The Speedia 500 ones are in a light blue color that matches Blurr's body. So we at least got that portion already covered on this video. Let's get Blurr out of the way here. At any rate, let's take a look now at Blurr's accessories. The first one being his gun. Because that's exactly the same shape. It's just molded in different plastic. So at least they went to that trouble. And then next up we have the hand tool. That covers his accessories. Well, let's take a look now at Blurr's articulation. And since he's a copy of the studio figure, he will have the same articulation as it does. You can turn his head from side to side, and it can look up and down a bit. His arm can raise out to the side about so far. And it does rotate at the shoulder all the way around. He can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees. And if you get it out far enough, he does have a swivel at the bicep. So he has that G.I. Joe battle grip. You can twist him at his hips. So Blurr's got some dance moves going. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a thigh cut, but it only allows his legs to go outside. They cannot twist inside. You can raise his legs at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. He even has knee pads to go with that, so that's always neat. So all in all, a rather nice looking figure. Okay, let's get Blurr transformed. The first thing we're going to do about Blurr is come around here to his back. I'm going to raise up and fold up the nose of the vehicle. And it's supposed to go up and over his head. If we can keep his head straight. There we go, just like that. And then we're going to rotate this piece here on his chest around so that it locks it in place. We'll deal with the piece that becomes its seat later. And then next, take the arms, fold the pieces from behind the forearms out so they cover the arms. Then rotate his arms so he's got him in a nice surrender pose. Then we're going to want to turn them at his hands. Yeah, just at the hand, turn them around. So they're like that. Come down here to his legs and fold the feet out like that. And you should be able to open the leg covers like that. And of course, on the one leg, there should also be a spot for the rear fin to pop out, so make sure you get that folded out as well. And then you can put the legs together. Like so. Once they've snapped together, fold them up and over. And fold the leg covers down underneath. That way they can snap into position. Then you'll take the arms from the shoulders and you're going to fold them downwards. Just like that, but keep them out for a moment. Because you're going to take the areas where the shoulders were, going to fold them under. Then on the underside, there's a spot where the feet have a post that can connect to a hole in the shoulders to hold them in place. Then once that's done, you can bring the arms down all the way, line them up with the 3 posts along the sides. Then when you have that done, you can reach in here with a good fingernail and fold out the seat. And then that is Blurr in his car mode. As we can see, this version has some fake wheels on the front of it. But due to the fact that the way it's built, those wheels don't touch the ground, so they look kind of stupid. But of course, like with the studio version of Blurr, the gun and the tool can be connected here at the nose. So Blurr can do himself a little bit of cheating by shooting out anybody in front of him. And of course, for comparison's sake, there's the studio version in its alt mode. So now we get to my thoughts about Blurr, and unfortunately I really don't like how this one turned out. The robot mode's pretty nice, because it does have some extra plating and such on it that does kind of look nice on it. It takes away from the rather plain look that was on the plain and smooth look that we're used to from the '86 feature film. However, it's the alt mode I really have a problem with. Blurr was never really depicted as being a wheeled vehicle. That was probably what helped allow him to be faster, was the fact that he was more like a hovercraft than an actual car. So he didn't have anything to keep him solid on the ground, so he could keep moving faster. This one, however, by adding the wheels, it just looks silly, especially with the way he sits. With or without his accessories underneath him, it still keeps those wheels off the ground. So all in all, it just looks weird. I don't know if this was intended originally for how Blurr was going to look in the movie, or where they came up with this, with the idea for this design, but it's just the way it's set up in this toy form. It just doesn't work. It looks more rather dumb than practical. But then again, in the Transformers universe, not everything is intended to be practical. But this one's even stretching my vivid imagination. At any rate, that's my review of the Velocitron Speedia 500 version of Blurr. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you like the content we feature here on this channel, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.